Hello, everybody, and welcome to this new astrology update video for the new moon in Aquarius. At this new moon, we are being given access to ultimate creativity, and I'm going to explain why I say that and all the powerful planetary movements that are happening for us right now. And I want to, as I'm beginning, just welcome you all in. Please go ahead and write in the comments. How are you doing today? How are you feeling? It's been a wild week leading up to this new moon. I hope you're all doing well, and please do let me know how it's going for you. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to the Sacred Planet YouTube channel, click that subscribe button if you would like to continue getting updates and be notified when I go live with new exciting interviews and astrology reports. And for those who may not know me already, let me just introduce myself. I am Jocelyn Starfeather, and I am a guide for visionary entrepreneurs, helping amazing entrepreneurs who want to change the world become visible with their voice, their message, and their mission. I am an astrologer. I am a sacred sites tour facilitator. I especially love guiding people on pilgrimages to Egypt. And I am a spiritual alchemist. And I am just delighted to be bringing you this astrology update today. Come and check out my website. You can see the URL right here, and I will also link it below. It is wearesacredplanet.com. Come and check out my online courses, many of which are free or donation-based. Also, my free gifts, which you will find from this page right here, and I hope you will enjoy. So let's talk about this powerful, powerful new moon in Aquarius that will be happening exactly on January 29th at 7:36 a.m. New York time. And here we will have the sun and moon together at 9 degrees of Aquarius. The sun and moon here at 9 degrees of Aquarius will be in a very favorable trine position to Jupiter over here at 11 degrees of Gemini. Now, this is a really fortuitous aspect for the new moon to be in a trine to Jupiter. And interestingly, this is a degree where Jupiter holds a lot of power. Jupiter will be sitting here at this 11 degrees of Jupiter point for about a month because Jupiter has been moving retrograde, coming back through the sign of Gemini. And Jupiter is reaching this 11-degree point, which is the degree where he will change direction. He will turn direct on February 4th. But before February 4th and after February 4th, Jupiter is sitting pretty much stationary at this 11-degree Gemini point. And whenever a planet is at the degree point where they're changing direction, where they're going to be sitting stationary for a while, they hold tremendous power. So this is a really, really powerful and energized Jupiter here in a trine to the new moon. So this Jupiter trine is bringing us the blessings of the air element because both Aquarius and Gemini are air signs. So this is about expanding the intentions that we set at this new moon time, lifting our thoughts into higher wisdom, higher frequencies, and new belief systems. If you can, feel the energy of the air element, it's very connected to our crown chakra and our third eye chakra, very connected to the realms above, to the higher intelligence and higher consciousness of the cosmos. And so that energy is going to be very present with us here for this beautiful new moon. Now, you can see, looking at this chart, we have a lot of really strong energy in Aquarius here. We've got the sun and moon together at 9 degrees. We have Mercury and Pluto. Mercury at 2 degrees, Pluto at 1 degree. So this first decan of Aquarius, and that means the first 10 degrees of Aquarius, is really powerful. It's really filled with very strong energies here. You can see that Mercury is just coming out of an exact conjunction with Pluto, which happened on the 27th and 28th. And that Mercury and Pluto conjunction is significant. So Mercury is our mind, our consciousness, our intellect, and our communications. And Pluto is that which is hidden. Pluto is very much about our subconscious. And so this Mercury-Pluto conjunction is bringing a lot of truths to light. I'm going to talk more about lies in the collective as we go here because it's a big theme. But for what I'll say for now is just that Mercury conjunct Pluto is bringing the lies, bringing the hidden information into the light, truths being revealed. This can be a surprising energy. This can be an energy of, wow, I really didn't see that coming. That truth being revealed or that lie being shown for what it actually is. So this Mercury conjunction with Pluto in the days leading up to the new moon, especially, things will be revealed. And we want to be paying attention to what is hidden or what has been hidden that is now coming out into our awareness. And personally, this is a very powerful transit to help you find the ability to speak or communicate in a new way that allows your true power to emerge, to really hold your boundaries, to stand up for yourself, to take a stand for something bigger than yourself through the way that you're communicating. So personally, you can really use that Mercury-Pluto transit to your benefit to really let your communications put you back in a place of power, in a place of sovereignty. Now, coming back to the sign of Aquarius here, as I mentioned, we have 4 really significant planets together in the first decan of Aquarius here. So this is strong Aquarian energies at this new moon. Okay, we have the sun and moon there, we have Mercury and Pluto there. So this is about strong air energies as well, because as I already mentioned, we have these planets in Aquarius with the new moon trine to Pluto in Gemini, all of them being very strong air signs. So this is a future-oriented energy. And we may be really thinking quite a bit at this new moon about looking ahead. What is the right course of action? What is the future that you can see that maybe others around you are not seeing, but you know it's important to pay attention to? This is about a bigger dream, a bigger picture, and being able to see more clearly from a bird's eye view. So rather than getting lost in the details, okay, Aquarius doesn't get lost in the details. Aquarius looks at the big picture. Aquarius is very much about looking from the bird's eye view, seeing the larger plan that is unfolding, and that's how we see the future that others cannot yet see. This is also connected with expanding our potentials. So expanding the potential of where we can go, how we want to move forward, a quickening and acceleration. And there may be a plot twist. I'm going to talk about Uranus soon. We have a lot of Uranian energy, and we want to remember that Uranus and Aquarius hold the same archetype. So there can be a plot twist, new information coming in, surprises that we did not see coming. Another thing about the air energies is it's very conversational. It's very social. It's very much about we find new ways of seeing things when we talk about it together. And when we do that, it opens up new neural pathways. It allows light to come in and shine in new areas of our consciousness. So conversations are important, right? Talk with your friends, talk with your family, your colleagues about what's going on in the world right now. We need each other right now. We need to make sense of it together because it's confusing. And I'm going to talk more about that confusion factor as well, because that is really important in the transits too. Now, let me first share more with you about Uranus. So here in the chart, we have Uranus at 23 degrees of Taurus. Uranus is also in a really powerful position because at the 23 degrees of Taurus, where Uranus is sitting now, is the point where Uranus is changing direction, because Uranus is going to turn direct the very next day after this new moon on January 30th. So Uranus is turning direct almost at the same time, really, as this new moon is happening, just one day apart. So this strengthens the Aquarian, Uranian themes even more. So there can be really unpredictable changes on these days, January 29th and January 30th. It can be a feeling of, wait, hold on, what just happened there? I did not see that coming at all. We want to remember that Uranus is the planet that stands for our freedom and liberation. And he will bring surprising events to help us become free, to help us become liberated. Uranus is also very fast moving. So we may feel, especially as Uranus turns direct and starts moving in a forward motion again, starting on January 30th, like things are really getting even more accelerated, if you can imagine that, because things are already moving very quickly. But things are getting even more accelerated, right? So really fast movement. And Uranus is the higher mind of the universe. Mercury is our personal mind, our personal consciousness. And Uranus is correlated to that, but Uranus is like the higher mind of the universe, the cosmic consciousness. So we will feel, and especially with the Aquarian energies being so strong, the air energies being strong, and Uranus turning direct at this time, the cosmic consciousness shining more clearly and brightly. And there's really an invitation here to look not at the details. Don't get lost in the details. Don't get lost in the headlines. Don't get lost in the crazy news that you're hearing from every angle. Look at the bigger picture. Look at what is becoming possible for us at this new moon time and set your intentions around that. Okay, so let's talk about Neptune, Venus, and the North Node. So if we look at the chart here, at the same time as this new moon is happening, we have Neptune at 27 degrees of Pisces, the North Node at 28 degrees of Pisces. So they're conjunct. They're only 1 degree apart, less than 1 degree apart. And Venus is moving pretty quickly through Pisces at this time. Just a few days prior to this, Venus was in a conjunction with Saturn. That was exact on January 18th. And now Venus is moving away from Saturn and moving toward Neptune and the North Node. And when a planet is moving toward, or in astrology, we say applying to certain points, that is a very strong energy. We're going to really feel that. So as Venus moves toward Neptune and the North Node, this is a very big energy that is happening for us at the same time as the new moon. We want to keep in mind that Venus is going to come back to this part of the chart in March and April. So Venus is going to continue on forward. She's going to come to an exact conjunction with Neptune, an exact conjunction with the North Node in just a few days. She's going to move into Aries, and Venus is going to go all the way to 10 degrees of Aries. And then on March 1st, she's going to turn retrograde at 10 degrees of Aries, and she's going to begin moving back. And she's going to come back through the first decan of Aries. She's going to come back into Pisces, and she's going to be sitting here again with Saturn, with Neptune, and with the North Node in March and April. So Venus is working very strongly with this area of the zodiac. She's working very strongly with Saturn, Neptune, and the North Node, because she's going to have actually 3 times that she comes into conjunction with all of those. The first one when she's going forward right now, the next one when she'll be moving backward in her retrograde, and the third one when she comes forward again, which will be in late April. So we want to really pay attention to what's happening here. Let's talk about that. Venus is highlighting the Neptune and North Node conjunction in Pisces very strongly. Now, Pisces is about many things, one of which is endings, closing out that which is old, because Pisces is the final sign, the 12th sign of the zodiac. So as Venus is doing this, she is helping us to permanently close out the old energies that we're done with. This is especially strong because we're dealing with the North Node. The North Node asks us, how are we moving into our desired future? And Pisces So the North Node, as it's traveling through Pisces, this is asking us, what do we need to permanently close out and really be done with in order to move into that future? In order to move into a future that's really beyond anything we've imagined. The North Node in Pisces, and this is a whole bigger topic that I'll make a separate video about very soon for you. But I'll just say briefly, the North Node in Pisces is calling us into higher consciousness. Pisces is our dreams, our visions, our imagination, our intuitive abilities, our spiritual awakening, our capacity to travel to the unseen realms, our shamanic abilities, our energy healing abilities, our capacity to navigate the multi-dimensions. So it's very vast. Pisces is very vast. And the North Node in Pisces is telling us our future involves all of this in a really strong way. Our intuition is going to become more heightened. Our dreams and visions are going to become more vivid and more clear. Our shamanic abilities, our ability to travel into the multi-dimensions is going to be vastly highlighted and amplified. So this is very much about spiritual awakening, and a huge number of spiritual awakenings happening in the collective as the North Node moves through Pisces, and especially as Venus is highlighting these points right now. So spiritual awakening is a way that when we look at the big picture, when we look at the big picture of what's happening, and when we look at what is hidden that's happening right now. Remember, Mercury and Pluto conjunction. What is hidden that is happening in service to a higher good? Right? Spiritual awakening, and the huge numbers of people that are awakening at this time is becoming the vehicle for how we move into our unprecedented future. Why do I say that? Let me explain. So many people are having spiritual awakenings right now. So many more people are meditating. So many more people are having mystical and synchronistic experiences all around the world. Huge numbers, vast numbers of people. People in corporate, people in the government, people in every walk of life are having spiritual awakenings and are coming into alignment with their intuition, with synchronistic occurrences, with fortuitous meetings with others that are also on that spiritual awakening path. Now, we just have no idea how massive this is, because when people are having a spiritual awakening, they don't generally talk about it. They're not broadcasting it on YouTube, right? It's not on the nightly news. We're not hearing about this. Many people feel the need to hide that for a long time. Some of you listening right now could be going through a spiritual awakening and not able to talk to your friends and family about it because they wouldn't understand, right? And if that is you, take heart. You are in the right community, the Sacred Planet community. We are here to support you, and we are together with you in that. But this is really happening for massive numbers of people, and it is going to change the dynamics of how our world is operating as more and more people live their lives in a different way, make different choices, and add their power to how we're all holding the light together. So Venus then is coming in with Neptune, with the North Node, and bringing beauty and ease and flow to this awakening dynamic that is very alive in our world. In the near future, talking about the North Node, our future, the people who are awakening will become so numerous, will join forces, and will overpower the people who think they're in charge, will overpower the people who are trying to deceive the masses. So then this becomes a very challenging moment for those who thought they were in control, for those in charge of the governments, for those in charge of the big corporations and the oil companies and so on and so forth. They thought they were in control. They thought they were pulling the puppet strings for all of us. But there's going to be an uprising. There's going to be a huge shift in people coming into a new understanding of what they really want and what they consent to collectively. So this change is coming. People are saying enough is enough. More and more and more people are going to be saying enough is enough, and we're not going to put up with it anymore. Now, I need to bring Donald Trump into this conversation because it's just so obvious. So Trump is playing a role here in which he is making the old, distorted, patriarchal, consumptive, capitalistic, ego-oriented world very clearly visible, right? During this week of his inauguration, he has been surrounded by the millionaires and billionaires who do not represent all of us, right? The the news headlines are showing us how extreme all of these distortions are. And Trump is just putting it out in clear view, so visible for everyone to see. And people are not going to put up with this for much longer. I have heard now from many people who voted for Trump, and they are now seeing that he doesn't care about them. He's not going to keep his promises. He doesn't have their best interests in mind. He doesn't have any of our best interests in mind, right? And so this is how the shift in events in our world is being accelerated by Trump being placed in this prominent position, because he's going to make it so clear how distorted this old reality really is. And it's actually going to help us shift more quickly, more easily. Venus is here with more beauty, ease, and flow into what we choose, what we do consent to, what we want to create in our world. And this new moon in Aquarius is carrying the energy of the future, our desired future, and the future that we choose to create together. Now, with all of this activity in Pisces, we are going to be feeling a lot of emotions around all of this. We have Neptune and Pisces, conjunct Venus, conjunct the North Node, right? This is very watery. A lot of a sense of changes will be washing over us. And there's a feeling here with the nodes being involved, especially the North Node being involved, of fated developments, right? That we are playing out some sort of really bigger picture destiny here. And we're going to see more and more clearly how we're being liberated from the past, and our paths are being cleared to move into what is new, to move into the future. Now, with Neptune, there can be confusion. So Neptune is right here, right? Neptune is at 27 degrees of Pisces. Venus is moving toward Neptune. Neptune and the North Node are working together already very closely, and Venus is going to add energy to that. With Neptune involved, there can be confusion. It can feel like we're in a fog. It can feel like we don't know what's happening. We don't understand. It doesn't make sense right now. And we really need to rest in a trusting place, connecting with the bigger plan. There is a bigger plan unfolding. Things are happening that are already shifting out of this old distorted dynamic and into the new and into what we choose. Now, what we are choosing is really important, and being conscious about what we choose is really important. So I'm going to talk about that more soon in a minute. But what I want to say for now is, if you feel lost or confused or uncertain, It's okay. That is very natural and normal right now with Neptune playing such a key role conjunct the North Node. It's like our future is cloudy. Our future is foggy. Our future is mysterious and unknown, but it is okay. Things are not clear, but it's okay. And this awakening is happening. Again, it's not happening on the outer levels, but it is happening behind the scenes, and it is happening very strongly. So many people are awakening, and that's going to shift the dynamic of everything. Now, how does this resonate for you? I would love to hear what you're thinking, what's moving for you as I've been sharing this today. Tell me in the comments. And if you're enjoying what I'm sharing here, go ahead and put a like on the video. I truly appreciate it. It means a lot to me when you like the videos, when you comment. It really helps me to get these videos out to more people and to support and inspire so many more people around the world with these videos. Now, there's something more I want to say about all of this. What's happening in the world right now is very much a competition of world views. There are so many at this time seemingly conflicting belief systems, so many perspectives that appear to be completely at odds with one another. Many, many lies have been told and are being told. Now, this is very connected with Pluto. Pluto and the energies of Pluto are really prominent, that which is hidden. Pluto is playing a very key role in our collective consciousness and our world events right now, as Pluto has just moved fully into Aquarius. Pluto will be in Aquarius for the next 20 years. Pluto is forming these very strategic trines and sextiles to the other 3 outer planets that will be becoming much stronger as we move into 2025. Okay, so we need to be aware of the lies. We need to be aware of the conflicting belief systems. Part of what's happening here is that we're already living in multiple worlds. We're already living on these different timelines from one another, right? We're separating into different timelines. This is something that Bashar, channeled by Daryl Anka, has been saying for many years now, that reality as we know it is going to be shifting in different timelines. And part of the reason that we cannot possibly understand the views of, or like the decisions or the views of somebody else, is because they're on a different timeline from us. We're getting further and further apart from them. Now, this can all feel disheartening. Okay, and when we see the news these days, I mean, I recommend not watching the news very much. Because there are so many lies. It's so hard to tell what's even real anymore. And we just don't want to send our consciousness in that direction, right? So with all of this going on, what is really important is what we are choosing, because we are so powerful. We are creating with the North Node and Venus and Neptune and Saturn in Pisces. So this is not a time to be pessimistic, not right now. It is a time to be expecting and energizing the best outcomes, to hold space for the best outcomes, because we, and especially all of us who are light workers, and I know many, maybe all of you listening are light workers. As light workers, we have tremendous power to create, and we get to hold the energies that we want to strengthen in our world. We get to choose what is amplified. So we want to choose, we want to energize, we want to amplify the very best outcomes, the very highest vision for our future. And this is what this new moon in Aquarius is about. What is the vision for the future? How are we setting our intentions? The new moon is a time to plant our seeds for the future. The new moon is a time to get really clear on what do we want? What are we choosing? What are we creating? And we want to choose really carefully at this time. Now, we are in a time of chaos. You may have noticed, right? We're in a time of chaos. And what that means, whenever there's chaos, it means that all possibilities are becoming available to us. And that is especially true for this new moon in Aquarius. We, the light workers, can see the future that the others cannot yet see. We have this Aquarian ability, and we can create that future through our thoughts, actions, and intentions. We want to be creating the best possible world right now because we can, because we are that powerful. So this is a really important new moon to be conscious and aware of where and how you're directing your attention. As I've mentioned, a lot is happening in the world that is not as it actually appears at this time. So we can't let ourselves get caught up in the hype. We can't let ourselves get caught up in all the headlines and all the, if you go on YouTube, it's just like apocalyptic headlines are what gets the most clicks these days. So everybody's making these ridiculous titles and headlines, and we just can't get caught up in all that. It's not even real. We got to come back to ourselves, come back to our center, come back to your truth, come back to what matters to you and what you value, and choose from your heart which energies you want to amplify at this new moon. We get to work with the energy of all of this that is swirling right now, and use it in the direction of the good. And we can, and we are that powerful. Now, it's really important what I said about this being a time of chaos, because chaos is the same thing as creation. We must have both order and chaos in the world. This is written in many of the ancient mythologies and cosmologies. The balance must exist between both order and chaos. Both order and chaos are necessary and important. This is reflected, for example, in the story of Osiris and Set. Set represents the chaos. And the son of Osiris, which is Horus, he represents order and high consciousness. And as the mythology goes on, Set and Horus must continually battle throughout all of time because neither of them can ever win. Because we can't ever kill off order and we can't ever kill off chaos. They both must exist side by side in our world. Now, chaos is creation. Chaos helps us to create the new. As I mentioned in a recent video about Uranus moving into Gemini later this year, chaos is like the energy of the great goddess Shakti. She is always moving, always dancing, and she is always birthing new forms. This is the energy of the black holes out in the universe. This is the energy of the womb space. This is the deep feminine force of creation. This is the energy that we are in right now. It is related to the planet Uranus. It is related to the zodiac sign of Aquarius, where all things are possible and where the future is fully accessible to us. So this energy of creation is especially highlighted at this new moon, and also it is the larger energy of 2025. So this new moon, which is actually also the Chinese Lunar New Year, by the way, sets the energy for the whole year. Now let's talk about that Lunar New Year. Okay, this new moon is bringing in the energy of the wood snake, the serpent, for the next 12 months. So a few points about the serpent, the wood snake. This is a very transformative energy. This is an evolutionary energy, and it is very feminine. It holds the energy of change. It holds the energy of creation and birthing. It's also about keen eyesight. The wood snake is said to have very keen eyesight. And so this is about being discerning. I had a dream toward the end of 2024 that was telling me to sharpen my eyes. My guides in the dream were helping me to sharpen my eyes, right? So this is about discernment. This is about being really clear on what we want to take in and what we want to create. As I have mentioned, a lot of people are lying right now. A lot of people that are influencing public opinions, right? Or public emotions are lying or hiding something. So we want to be aware of this. We need to be very discerning. The truth is hidden. The lies are in plain view. It's an interesting conundrum that we are in. So we need to be careful what we latch on to, right? What we put our faith in. Now, as we sharpen our focus and our discernment, we can choose what we want to carry forward, and we can choose what we will not consent to any longer. And as I've mentioned, that's going to become very clear, and a very big force within the collective is enough is enough. We do not consent to this any longer. So at this very powerful new moon in Aquarius, we have the ability to get off the old track. There is a larger universal plan unfolding. It's okay to not know, to not be able to see really far in front of ourselves right now. It's okay to feel like we're walking in the fog. The fog is actually the blank slate. The fog is actually the new creation place, the womb space, where we don't know what's coming next, but we get to create from here. The spaces in the unknown, in the darkness, when we can't see, that is the space from which new, unexpected, revolutionary, high frequency ideas and new things are created. So this is actually a very creative moment for us. It's all happening now, and it is so much more beautiful than we can possibly know. We can trust in the larger plan. And many of the shifts and the new creation that are happening are behind the scenes. They are in the fog. They are where we can't see them. Like I mentioned, that huge numbers of people awakening and choosing a new way in their own lives, and increasingly for the collective now, right? We can't see this yet, but it is happening, and we can trust. I think it's so interesting that the Aquarian energies have quite an entrepreneurial quality to them, right? And what is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is someone that sees the future that others can't see yet and creates from there and brings something new into the world, a new business, a new innovation, a new way of doing things that nobody else has tried before. This is very Aquarian. Seeing the future that others cannot yet see. How many of you out there listening can see the future that others can't yet see? Write in the chat, right? Yes, if that's you. I think it's so interesting that those of us who carry the Aquarian archetype very strongly, that ability to see the future, we're often like the black sheep in the family, right? We're the one that nobody else in the family could understand because we see things in a different way. We're future oriented, we're visionary, and others just can't get it, you know? Just like I know for me growing up and as a teenager, just, you know, I was so different than everybody else. So if you feel that way, write yes in the chat. And these are our times, you know, now, oh my goodness, what a gift it is to be able to see that future. What a gift it is to be able to tap into what's coming next and create from there, right? So let's just embrace these Aquarian energies at this new moon in Aquarius. And for all of us, these Aquarian energies are pointing us toward the abilities that we're being given at this time. So, those abilities to see the future, to build the future, to create, to hold the light, to choose what we really want, to activate and amplify. These are the abilities we're being given at this time. So let's use this new moon in Aquarius to set our intentions wisely and passionately for how we're going to use these abilities. Really let yourself be in the ultimate space of creation, in your mind, in your heart, in your dreams, in your life, and in your daily activities. We're being given access to ultimate creativity right now. Aquarian creativity. How amazing is that? So we don't know yet how to create the new thing. We're learning. We can't leap ahead into it because we're figuring it out. We are feeling, sensing our way forward one step at a time. We're opening up to a new and different path now here on the earth. And we can direct our energy toward the highest outcomes. We don't know the answers yet, but that's okay. As we lean into it, we cannot even imagine all that this is making possible as we just open our hearts and minds a little bit more to those highest outcomes, to the new vision. It's so vast. It's so Aquarian, and it's so different from what we've been living in the last few years. So at this new moon in Aquarius, really open your heart to it, to these new energies, to ultimate creativity. Open up your trust. We are being given access to the womb of all creation at this powerful new moon time. And I want to close with a little line here back on my website that is right here on the page, so you can read it along with me. Chaos and creation are magic in action. We are birthing our new selves, our new structures and leadership models, our new connection with the earth and cosmos. We are birthing our new reality, all of us together on our beautiful sacred planet. So, carrying this forward on this powerful new moon at 9 degrees of Aquarius, I hope that this has been inspiring and uplifting for you all. Set your intentions wisely and passionately for this new moon. I am sending you all so much love and bright, bright blessings. And I will see you again soon. Much love.